Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Dam. And today I have something pretty special to do and to show you. But first off, I'd like to apologize a little bit. There was some progress that we did yesterday, and we were just having a lot of fun just playing around. And I probably should have recorded some of the stuff. So I'm just gonna give a good update, and because of the parts especially that I learned stuff about, I really need to be sharing with everyone else. So first off, this elevator, this white elevator block up here, it's made with an ender pearl. So Alex had to grab some. Actually, I should just type in elevator. Okay, yeah. So here, it's just wool and and an ender pearl, and you get one. And they have to be straight up above one another for them to link. So that's the first thing we've done. Pixart has not been made yet, but that's fine. So yeah, so the first thing was we didn't make that first, but that was one of the big things. As you can see, the stuff has been moved. Basically all the important stuff is gone. We ended up making a storage room, or at least the first version of it. And I'll show you about that in a second, just to show we still have the stuff. We ripped out the machines and we put them in a different spot. Later in this episode, we'll be making rooms for the enchantment room and the nether portal, maybe the deep dark room, a bedroom, and stuff, because currently our bed, we have one there and one in the storage room. So, I'll show you also what we have done. This is pretty huge. So, the rooms, by the way, will be connected off these balconies, so one on each one on each side going down. For now, we just have this access to the old base, because basically we still use that as the front door. So yeah, so these elevators go up and down. So this is the storage room. Last episode, we had left it off here. It was about like this high, and it was cobble. So we ended up just bringing the stairway down a little bit. This still needs to be finished with simple covers, I believe it is, and stairs. Alex has been kind enough to build some Ender IO lights, which look very nice. Get rid of that torch look. We still have the ladder going all the way up, so that probably needs to be torn out. He dug this. I don't know what that's about, but here's basically how we decided the storage. It was a little bit of just talking back and forth with trying multiple different things. Again, some of the simple covers to give that 3D look. We have big bulk storage here with, I guess, variations of blocks. So stone, there's some stone slabs, stone brick, some of the other odds and ends, sand, netherrack, gravel. We still have our big cobble thing here, which has like, look at that, 70,000 or 75,000 cobble. Yeah. These two sections are basically, this section is completely empty so far. These are going to be for items that we don't really know where to put them, and they aren't quite small enough to be warranted to have like a 1x1 section. They need a little bit more, so we got our wool chest, some glass, because a glass is not, there's not enough glass to warrant a barrel, but at the same time, it's too much to be just a single item. So that's kind of that. We got some like the dyes, the wools. This will be the fishing. A fish is going to go in there. So basic stuff. This is like the simple covers chest that we just haven't cleaned up. This is something I built yesterday as well. An armory room. So instead of putting our tools and weapons everywhere, we just decided let's just quickly throw something together like this. So all the pickaxes, shovels, axes, swords, armor. This is pretty bad armor. Oh, that piece is actually unbroken. But as you can see, it's just all the armor that we had originally had. This will be bows or crossbows or whatever, and then this is like functional items. So saw, shears, chisels, whatnot. This is for now like excess armor or stuff like the witch hat, because I don't really know where to put that. I don't really know if I like these yet, but I just threw some, again, using the, I guess it's multi-part little railing there. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. As you can see, credit for this stuff goes to Alex, as he was going hard with the organizing the ores. This is what he did in his last base, so that is why we chose it. This diamond chest, which used to be full of all our ores, is now nicely in the wall. As you can see, we have ingots, so it gives the ingots, and then it also gives the block form. So if you need like a certain amount of blocks, like, oh, I need some blocks of iron, just click, you get blocks of iron, ingots, or nuggets, or ingots. Like, just easy right click. Then you can click on this drawer controller, which is connected to all of the drawers. So if you ever have an item in your inventory, let's just take a stack of reeds, and instead of looking for the exact place where they need to go, you can just walk up to the drawer controller, right click, and it goes into the system. So that is really very, very nice that it's all connected. We threw in some furnaces just if you need to get something smelted up quick. Back here we have now 3 alloy smelters and 3 sag mills, which are pretty handy. And a mod that we literally just added was just like in the old world, those big backpacks. These ones are much smaller. Here, I'll show you the difference. So this is the one we've been working with in this world so far. So 4x9, 36 slots. And then look at this one, 6x9, 54 slots, which is huge. And one thing I found, you can put the bags in the other backpack. So, and then you can, in this backpack, you could put this one. So you could have infinite storage just on you. One thing I do like about this backpack, which that's why I'm keeping it out there, is it has the pickup mode. So if you guys remember when I mine, anytime you mine, as long as it's on your hotbar, the item will just go right into the backpack, which is super handy. So that's why I keep it around. Otherwise, not too much has changed down here. So yeah, we built this. This is going to be our tech. Apparently rubber's in there too. Guess Alex dumped some more stuff in here. Anyways, these are like the last 2 chests which are unfiltered because we don't really know where to put them and where stuff goes. So this is for now the random dump chest. There's literally, I don't know, we just left it the way it is from before, from moving everything. And this is supposed to be like the technical stuff. So that's cool. So again, the elevators and stuff up to the top. We haven't put those logs in yet. I'm not sure if we will. We just put the one in originally to see how it looked. Pretty happy with that. One big thing now that we're gonna do, this is the part I think I regret the most not showing, because this would have been difficult to show. It would have had to be shown in different stages, like us putting the stuff in and then choosing where, and there would have been a lot of cuts. But this next part here, so as you can see, we have plenty of power, and before we were super struggling to find power. See, 5 million RF, and you're thinking, where did we get that? So we built one of my favorite mods in the pack, extreme reactors. So we built a reactor, nuclear one. I don't know why this cobble's still here. Yeah, so this is really cool. So this mod, it produces, there used to be a mod called big reactors, which was like the go-to for large power, but this one, they like took it and made it even better, so it's just simpler now, and it produces a lot of power. So for instance, this one, those are lead blocks. We have 4 cores. It produces, I think it was 5. Here, we can turn it on quick. I think it produces like about 5,000 RF per tick when it gets going. And then you can see this is the storage. 5,800 RF per tick. Like, that is huge. So, and that is so much. So we are good for power for a while until we start doing some stuff. And you can easily turn it on or off. I'll quickly explain what's going on here. So the temperature is how hot it gets. Ideally, you want the casing temperature to be low, and the core heat to be well, it depends. If you want a lot of RF, like you want it to just really pump out a whole bunch of power, you want the core heat to be very high. You always want the casing heat to be low. And this is how fast it burns through the fuel. So if you remember me collecting yellorium, that's in here. This is the fuel in which it burns. So it goes in through the Ender IO conduits into the yellorium, or into the access port, which it gets the fuel, and then the another access port, but the blue one, so it produces, I think it's cyanide ingots. Yeah, cyanide ingots, which is the waste, which can actually be turned into these plutonium. You can use it for the turbine stuff, but plutonium, and then that can be used for, where is it? Is it R I press on? I think it's R. You can turn it into some kind of awesome fuel later. I don't remember how. But we looked at it yesterday, and you can actually use the waste product which this produces into, I think it's some kind of explosive, which is cool. Anyway, so that's what this is. This is how fast the fuel transforms into the cyanide. So the yellorium it's not renewable, so you have to keep adding more to get power. But I think it was 0.6 millibuckets per tick, which is pretty good. It burns pretty slow. So the whole time we've ever been running this, we've only ever produced 4 cyanide ingots, which is really good. We looked up, and apparently lead casing, there's definitely better casings, and you can make much bigger reactors or smaller ones, but we found out that lead casing is pretty good for keeping the heat down. And on the inside we have graphite blocks around the cores, so that seems to work really well for us. So just a quick explanation on how this works, or how we built it. Add extreme reactors. Okay, so this block right here, reactor casing, it's fairly cheap, especially in the point of the game we're at so far. So graphite bars, sorry, are just coal, dust, or yeah, you just burn coal and you get graphite bars. So that was very cheap. So we could get plenty of those because we have that whole barrel full of coal. The reactor casing, again, simple materials, stuff, nothing like that you have to multiple stage to craft it or smelt. You just have the resources. The glass, we just add that in the front so you can kind of see in. Same blocks, just regular old glass. The controller, I mean, it costs 1 diamond and some Elorium, but that's pretty cheap. We have the redstone flux tap, which is where we get the power out of. And these ports are pretty cheap. Again, oak chest and piston, like that's again very cheap, which is nice. And then some control rods, which have to be on top. So I'll show you that. So the quick basic rule of extreme reactors, all the corners have to be the casing. You cannot have any other block but casing in the corners. On the sides, you can choose to have whatever block you want, but we chose to put the access ports on this side. And here, I'll show you the top quick. So on the top, this is where we chose to have the redstone flux tap. This is where the power comes out. And wherever you have a rod, which is these babies, fuel rods, again, very cheap, Elorium and some iron, cheap. We have 3, so we have 12 fuel rods. Wherever you have a fuel rod, on top you must have a control rod. So they're nice and cheap, and you only need 4. That's about the only rule that you have to have. The rules you have to have. The corners have to be built out of reactor casing. You must place the control rods on top of the fuel rods, and then just all the blocks just cannot be in the corners of the casing. Again, the bottom is all reactor casing. You could put ports down there. You could put them all on the bottom or whatever. But yeah, you can also use some stuff we have not done yet. I don't know if we will, which is the computer port, which is apparently you can't. Well, the computer port anyways, or there's another red net. There's another type of power source you can get out. But you can also program it to, if it's running, like if you're running out of fuel, or if you want to bring it down so it uses less fuel per tick, like conversion rate, then you can like program it to do that, so it is more fuel efficient, but it'll produce less power. But for now, what we've chosen to do is just run it when we need power, and because we have so many capacitor banks, and we have our machines down here, that seems to be sufficient for us. So those are the kind of the big updates that have been done, which is storage room, which is not quite complete, but as you can see, we have all these extra drawers. We chose to go for the drawer system because of the drawer controller, compacting drawer. Like, this is such a good mod for storage. These little guys up here are upgrades. Can I right click with my stake? Nope, has to be open hand. Okay, so if I want to put an upgrade here, you can build all these times. So as you can read there, increase storage to 3 times its base value, 5 times and such and so on. So you can add those to the drawers. Oh, it's locked. Oh no. Whatever. So each of them can only hold, I believe is it 8 stacks of 64, I think, for each of these, one of the little drawer compartments, and then this one's 64 stacks of 64 items. So much bigger, but still not huge. That's why the bulk storage has to be barrels, because as you can see, we can have like 64 by 64, same thing, but we can have multiple storage things. So yeah, that's kind of the update. I believe Alex at least will be joining me here on the server fairly soon, and we're going to continue to build a couple more rooms, like I said, for the I should actually go back up there. For like the bedroom, for the enchanting station and smeltery bedroom. Nether portal will move somewhere, maybe in a room, I don't know which room. The deep dark portal and such, we'll also move that. Yeah, so that's kind of the update that unfortunately I missed. That, like, I probably could have made that a whole video itself, just the storage room, what we did yesterday, because it was pretty fun. But there was a lot of thinking, and we didn't actually get a whole bunch. Like, it wasn't a nice smooth, like, it would have been easy recording session. It would have been a lot of cuts. But yeah, so that's kind of the update. Cow farm is still ticking. We still haven't moved this smeltery. For the oak wood, because you saw those drawers, I have been making this big block. So if you don't know, you can put oak trees by the side themselves. You can do like a huge mega thick thing of oak trees, and then because we have vein miner, you just hold the vein miner key and you mine it all, and pretty much it takes care of all of it. There's gonna be one log in here from a weirdly grown tree. So that's how we've been getting all our oak, which is huge, and with the fast leaf decay, it's like so nice. One warning though with this is you usually don't get all the saplings back for your return, so you have to you can't do this every time unless you have like infinite saplings, but for getting a good amount of wood, because I just gained, look at that, 2 and like a quarter stacks of oak, which is huge. Well, maybe we did. There we go. We actually did. We managed to get an 8 sapling profit. So yeah, I'm gonna cut now, and whenever the Alex comes on, or even Brett, I will continue on with the recording with them, and we'll see what we can get done today. So get pumped for that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, welcome back, guys. So a few things have changed and happened around here since last time. Bossk is on with me right now. Want to say hello?
Hey.
So we did a little more updating with the storage system. We have added a ME system, so that we just quickly threw together. We did that I don't know, a little while ago, and we made like some 16K storage, which can hold 16 unique items. It ended up that there you go. We're gonna use this for the ME system and ore finding, but we just put this in here now. This still might be used for the massive ore thing, so we'll be able to like dump a whole bunch in, and then it automatically smelt through, because currently we just do it by hand. We also made an extractor, which is very loud, and a macerator, which you can see iron ore, get crushed iron ore, and we're using that to get rubber. One of the big advantages with the ME system, you can just search. So for instance, if I just want like iron, then you can just have you just click whatever you need. You can also the way we have it hooked up, obviously to all this stuff. So for the items, they will first go into their drawers first before they actually go into the ME system as a storage slot. So like for instance, I think we have a little bit of cobble in here. Yeah, we have 85 cobble. We're not going to actually hook up the cobble because there would just be too much. But most of these barrels, we might just put a little bit of sand in, or find a way that you can put just a little bit in, because the ME system will fill up super fast, so we have all this stuff in there. So yeah, otherwise not much has changed in here. Alex was just on, and we were kind of slowly messing around, but unfortunately we don't have enough reeds, because we started the library here, and I can quickly tell you my vision with it. This is actually glass here, so there's window, as you can see, quite clear glass. See? Yeah. So the cool thing about this is we're just gonna have 3x3 doorway. Walk in. This will be the enchanting table with bookshelves around. We're gonna have bookshelves all in the wall, so that's why there's a 1 block gap. This will all be bookshelves. The enchanter and anvil will go here. This cutout, again, glass here, is we were just digging this out and I saw a ravine, so we might add some more lava, and so you can kind of like look through and see down the ravine, which I think is cool. These will be stacked taller like your typical library. Again, bookshelves on the walls, and we may have some chests for either enchantment like books that we didn't use yet or whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of the purpose of this room. Because we wanted, as you can see if you stand in here, look up, it's the staircase which adds detail, and then just pure stone brick, which doesn't look that great. So we're trying to use more of the wall, so having a cutout like that is pretty handy and looks good. So that's the update with that. That's kind of all we've done is just this, which took a long time. We ended up, bookshelves are very pricey on books, obviously, so reed farm, which I had originally trimmed down, I will quickly show you. I have had to expand again because we're out of reeds, and obviously I used like almost no books. It's still growing for oak because they also cost a lot of wood, but yeah, so I'm gonna start putting them around the all the way around the lake again to grow them. So yeah, I'm gonna cut now, and we're gonna go visit Bossk at his base and see what his progress has been. So get ready for that. All right, now we're at Brett's base. As you can see, he's going for a little more steampunk town. Looks cool with the bricks and the treated wood. And
yeah.
wait, what is it? Oh yeah, immersive engineering power. That's what he's going for.
Like pretty much everything here is immersive engineering.
Yeah.
Not just the power.
Yeah, he's definitely leading the forefront on the server for immersive engineering. He's got the cool windmill and his buildings. So you want to explain what's going on here?
Okay, so at the moment, my only power is the windmill, and that's only powering my lights, and that one's probably only going to power my lights.
Yeah. And this actually goes through the wires. That's actually how the power goes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the wires are also pretty cool because they work with the skyhook as a transportation sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I might eventually make a higher version of that, or even like I'm thinking of making like a floating island sort of similar to BioShock and having skyhooks around, because that'd be pretty cool. So in here we have my steel factory. So we've got
reinforced blast furnace,
a
heaters.
coke furnace up here. Yeah, and it's all automated. All I have to do is put
that chest, right?
coal in the top.
Oh.
And I need to make the iron in.
Yeah. Okay.
The iron, but as soon as I make an input for the iron, it will be automated.
Yeah.
So that'll be somewhere on the back. And then I do have the heaters. I don't have power for them yet, just because of the limitations of my power supply at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to make like a bunch more windmills, or if I'm going to do something else. Where'd you go?
I went to your other little building, which you like with your tinker's or engineer's workbench.
Oh, yeah. I like just finished it. So this is sort of going to be what the buildings, any like home type buildings and stuff I build are going to kind of look like this with the sandstone floor.
Yeah, it looks good. I actually didn't think this color scheme would work, but it's actually like nice and bright, like sandstone. I was like, well.
Yeah, and these lamps, powered lanterns.
Yeah, they're so cool.
They're so good.
Yeah, and they're
so nice, and they prevent hostile mob spawns within a 32 block radius.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
so they
really
don't
good.
just light up. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'll probably have like some sort of defense ring around my island, kind of with those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
So
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then he lives in that pirate ship also.
Well,
like that's your.
At the moment, I'm living right here.
Yeah, but some of your stuff's over there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I moved all my important stuff over here.
Okay.
Like all my ores are in there now.
Cool.
And my building thing.
So thank you
for
watching.
That's my home.
Yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next episode. And we will occasionally come check out on Brett and see what he's been up to with his base, because obviously his is very much a different style and looks cool. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.